Facebook and whatnot. This is Blade Junkie. I recently told you about my plans to build or incorporate a gearbox into this model here, and I've done that. I've incorporated the gearbox and I've built some of the body, but it's not complete yet. So, yes, here's the controller now, as opposed to the previous controller, which only had one. Because I put a motor in there for the gear switch. So that is this one right here. And you push up for fastest gear, down for lowest gear, and forward, backward, and left and right. So that's that. And this is the vehicle so far. I'm not quite done with it, but this is what I've got. So you've seen this portion. So I've added a lot to it to make it larger. I guess, let's see, one of the things I added here is this little door that you could open up to see the gearbox, and you can see it in there, I guess. It's not easy to see, I imagine, on this POS camera, but that's it. And I don't know the gear ratios, as I told you in the video about the gearbox itself, but yeah, so the extra receiver has been put in here, and the other receiver is right here, and the receiver right here only controls the steering. This one controls the drive and the gear shift. So as I said, it's not done yet. I'm planning to put a trailer hitch on it, on this large back portion here, and it's not done yet, so I've just left it open. And as I said, I wouldn't be using the universal joints in the same way, and I'm not. They don't go from the side anymore. Now they go from the top down. So yeah, there's the gearbox in there, or what of it you can see. I've had to remove a lot of paneling from it and use it in the bottom to hold the whole thing together, because Lego has odd numbers of these in their sets, and I couldn't use an odd number. I needed an even number of them to make it work. So instead I just used some of these black panels here. But for the most part, all I've done is I've doubled the length of this center section and put the gearbox in there and added some extra parts on to kind of get rid of the look of all that junk. So I guess now would probably be the time to show you how it works. So beware of crackling. Okay, so as you can see, the vehicle is far longer now. Or maybe you can't, I don't know. I don't know if you can tell the difference. If you're wondering what the music is, if you can even hear it back there, it's new album Infinite Arms by Band of Horses. It's kind of a interesting band, but I've known about them for a while. So still the same here with the button, turn it on, and return to center steering still there. So I'm going to start it off in low gear. And in low gear, it's very, very slow, which is good for this camera. Or so I would think. And if I shift gears into the higher speed, you can You see a very clear difference in how quickly it can move. And switch gears here. Okay. It's still pretty slow right now because of the lack of power. I haven't charged this battery in about a week and a half or so. So it's running on about its minimum. But the gearbox does work, aside from taking a long time to shift gears. But in the gearbox video, where I told you about the gearbox that I made that I was going to be putting in it, I explained that I would be using a clutch gear. So the worm gear drives the clutch gear and prevents a lot of slippage. And, or I guess it more of allows the slippage to happen. Rather than bust up the gears. So, yeah, I guess that's really all there was to show you at this point in the build process. But I could show you how the gearbox works. So let me move it up here and turn this camera over there. So that's the gearbox. And right now, I believe it is in its higher gear. And you can see that worm gear spinning, and it's hooked up to a, as I said, it's hooked up to a clutch gear. So that's the low gear. And this is high gear again. So, and this is neutral. And if I turn the motor on, it's probably not noticeable, but the gear ratio is different here. So, obviously the speed is different. From this to this, they're not the same speed. So, when it's clicked into its higher gear, then it spins the wheels at a different speed. And in its lower gear, it spins them at a slower speed. And yeah, this is, as I said, what I've got so far. So yeah, that's that, I guess. So until I update it again, I guess this is goodbye for now, and I will talk to you later. So this is Blade Junkie signing off. Thanks. Bye.